I am making a video on Snaky Bus. Why? Well, even though there are 8 billion humans on Earth, not a single video of Snaky Bus has been uploaded in 5 days since making this video, like recording right now. To me, that's crazy, but it really goes to show you how forgotten this game has become, how much it's fallen out of the human eye. So I'm gonna play it. And I'm going to play on Seattle because I like this map, and also because I am on the leaderboard, if you look on the right there, in the 6th place. Nice. Of 804. So, let's play some Snaky Bus. Cold Cocoa. This is a nice song. Pike Place Market. Alright, let's pick some people up. Yeah, I saw this game in my library and I wanted to play it as I haven't played it in months, years. It's a good nostalgia trip to come back to every now and then. And it has a special place in my heart. I used to play this game so much back when I used to stream. It was quite enjoyable. Made for good content. Because even though you have to concentrate, you can sort of sit back and relax and just drive a bus. And almost crash like me. So let's do that again. Except for let's do it a bit better. I'm just learning the controls, trying to figure out what drift is. I'm very rusty. Another Starbucks? No. I don't want to drop off passengers until my bus is completely full in length. It's the best way to maximise your payload and delivery. Seattle. I do want to visit Seattle one day. I want to visit a lot of places in the world. Oh, I saw my bus. Steinbruick Park. We have no one to drop off, so we might as well just drive right through it. It's raining. Currently where I'm at right now, it is not raining. It is cold outside though, and I hope everyone is staying warm in this harsh winter weather. Sorry people, coming through. I know you've got construction works, but I have passengers to pick up. And it's my duty to drop off these passengers. I don't want them standing out in the rain, getting all cold and wet. I have a duty to my passengers. To send them to Steinbruick Park. Listening to the Cold Cocoa playing in the background. The relaxing sound of timber drums and rain pattering against the double-decker bus. Although the double-decker bus is a British creation, I feel like it works anywhere. Now Pier 59 does require a drop-off, and it is right there, but I am not going to drop anyone off just yet, as to maximise my payload. Now we are going to have to jump here, but I can do that just fine. Now it really is no problem, even though I was meaning to take the stairs there, I missed. And that's a shame. As you can see, I'm going for a bit more of a calmer approach this video, as I've kind of realised that, well, to be a successful entertainer, you have to be, unique, you have to stand out. I don't. But the best way to stand out is to be yourself. And to be myself, well, I don't like shouting. Oh, I guess we have to drop them off at the Starbucks. Sorry about that. I don't want to do that, but that's where the drop-off was. Oh, Steinbrook Park, another drop-off I don't want to do. That's a shame. But yes, you have to be yourself. And to be myself, I just want to be relaxed. I'm tired. I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm chill. I don't want to yell. I just want to listen to nice, calm, peaceful driving music while driving a red double-decker bus around Seattle, dropping off passengers. I don't know if you could call this ASMR. Oh gosh, a Trevian ASMR, that would be so horrendous. Please make sure it never gets that bad. I would like to get to at least 300 in bus length before I meet my untimely end. Nope. This is where we meet our end for Seattle. Such a shame. Only 200 carriages long. Oh, that do be a shame. Although Seattle was fun. I used to hold... Fun fact, I used to hold the record for... Not the record, but I used to be on the leaderboard for Paris. I used to be in the 10th place spot with 1,037. Unfortunately, I have been knocked off. Which is a shame, but nothing I can do about it. But I am also on the Miami leaderboard in 9th place, 762, which I am very pleased about. So for the fun of it, I'm going to do Paris, as Paris was my best map, and although the song is Paris, I don't really want that. Petal Fallon, a bit of smooth jazz, is fine by me. I do like a bit of jazz, smooth jazz in specific. Now, as I'm more confident, or swing jazz, just add, as I'm more confident on Paris, I am going to accelerate a bit more, just to speed up the content. Best way to ensure the viewer does not get bored is to keep them entertained. This can be done in many ways. Speeding up content, showing them highlights, well done editing, or just being overall entertaining. Or having a loyal fan base, that's another one. I'm none of these things. Well, entertaining maybe, but it depends on preference. I'm not the best editor in the world, but I try to be. And yes, I get it's lazy showing raw footage. You could edit this to be something so much better, Trevi. Yeah, I know I could. I was stifled for words there for a second, but honestly, I just want to upload videos for fun. You know? Just relax. You upload videos because you enjoy uploading videos, not because you have to. I mean, don't get me wrong, any rich, big YouTuber will tell you that they do it for fun, and yes, there is probably a large percentage of them that do enjoy doing it, and do it because it is their passion. But most of them just do it for the paycheck. Heck, I would too if I was earning 7 figures. People would earn 7 figures. If people could earn 7 figures by just pushing one button at a desk for 8 hours a day, they would. They straight up would. It's always about the money. But Snaky Bus, I don't know. I know it sounds like I'm just talking here, and because I am, it's always made me feel philosophical. It might just be the Petal Fallon smooth jazz playing in the background, but it's like awakened something in me, brought out my inner philosopher, because because, fun fact, I wanted to be a philosopher when I was younger. I wanted to be a lot of things, but philosophy has always been something that I've always been really passionate about. As I quite enjoy it, because it doesn't just contemplate life, it contemplates everything. It contemplates the lives of others, it contemplates who we are as people, what our meaning as people are. It's everything. It even questions everything and nothing. And I like these kind of conversations, you know? Figuring out what is nothing, what does it mean to be nothing, and what does it mean to be everything? Although, from a mathematical standpoint, and as much as I know people hate maths because it can be very boring, and at times it can be, although I was a fan of trigonometry back in high school, nothing and everything cannot exist. But if everything is nothing, so if all ones become zeros, then do all zeros become ones? So if everything is nothing, that means nothing then becomes everything, which means zero doesn't exist. But it does, but zero is equal to 1. It's a scary thing to think of, because although it sounds like a stupid thing a philosophical nerd like myself might say, without nothing, well, there can't be anything. Because for some things you need the absence of, and without the absence, well, what do you have? Without the absence of light, we don't have darkness. I know, it just sounds like a bunch of malarkey. I'm talking out my ass, trying to find something to say. Yeah, maybe not. But it's the middle of the night, and I'm tired. And I've not had any scotch. Although I did research today, what does scotch say about you if you drink it? And people who drink scotch are usually deep thinkers who like challenging conversations. Yes, I get this was the AI overview, and AI is a massive subject for philosophy. But no, sleep deprivation actually does more for philosophical thought than alcohol. Surprisingly. I guess I'm not playing the best here with my bus. I'm not being calculating. I'm being relaxed. Although, why am I saying this in a third-person perspective? Am I viewing myself from not myself? Am I becoming someone else? If we talk about ourselves from the angle of someone else, are we someone else? Or are we ourselves, looking from an outsider's perspective? Looking from a perspective foreign to our own? So does this make everything foreign to us? Or only certain aspects of life? Or are we just too afraid to look at ourselves in the mirror, to see what we are, what we might become, and what we have become? Am I just good at talking about philosophy, or am I invoking an emotion in you right now? Like all things on the internet, you can't get rid of it. So that means either this video is being watched by everyone or no one. And it doesn't matter which, because at the end of the day, time will always move forwards with or without you. So even if you didn't see this video, and even if you did, then what difference does it make? None. In the grand scheme of things, none. In a million years, this video won't exist. No one will exist. Everything on this planet will no longer exist, at best. Maybe all we can hope is the radioactive decay that we leave behind in nuclear power plants, but the half-life of that will have already decayed to a point that it's non-existent. Maybe at best one photo survives, a glimpse into a past long gone, never to be retrieved again. Not because of limited access to technology. The technology will be outstanding in a million years, hopefully, as long as we don't wipe ourselves out. But more in the fact that everything is so gone that even your atoms are starting to disconnect from you. In turn, turn, this leads to nothing. For the fact that atoms are smaller than visible light, you can't reconnect anything. Once atoms are disconnected, there is nothing you can do. You've effectively lost all data and information. Who knows, maybe we're eaten by a black hole and the information is lost that way. Since atoms are so small, you can't see them, so you can't recreate them. Even if you were to store an atom as data, but let's say you stored an atom as 1, then, like, how would you put it together? I'm pretty sure I read somewhere there's, like, 50 trillion cells in the human body or something. Even if you stored every atom as, like, a bit, you'd need quadrillions of bits. You'd need so many bits that you'd need a computer the size of a planet. Maybe technology would get that far, but you just can't see it. And what can you do with something you can't see? Nothing. You can try to do something with it, but it'd be a very hard task. Maybe it would be possible, but this object isn't, like, lost or unknown. It is quite literally impossible to see. You will never see an atom. No matter how hard you try, an atom will always be just out of your view. You can try many ways to view one, but it won't be seen. There are some things in the universe that will never be seen. There are stars exploding all around us that will never get seen by any living being ever. And as scary as this sounds, it's true. Galaxies have gone by where not a single living being, whether that be alien life, carbon-based life, bacteria life, nothing has seen this, and nothing will ever see it. And yes, it's a bit of a morbid thought, but it's a true one. In the scale of the universe, we are not even an atom. You could argue we're like quarks, but even that's a bit of a stretch. We're more like the Planck length, maybe even smaller. So small that we shouldn't even exist. Yeah, philosophy is a scary subject because it forces us to confront questions that we can't have answers to and might never have answers to. And the fact that this is coming from some 18-year-old British guy sat playing Snaky Bus is horrifying, but also freeing. Like I said, you can call me weird, or you can call me intelligent, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It only matters to you, which in turn does mean it matters, but in the grand scheme of the universe, it still doesn't, as since no human matters. Alas, we cannot even remember some humans going back 10,000 years. How will we remember in millions and billions? We talk about ancient generals and emperors from Rome, like Caesar, Augustus, Nero. We remember them from thousands of years ago, but anything past 3,000, well, no, since it would be 5,000 years ago, because it would be 3000 BC, we don't remember. The oldest human ever recorded only goes back like 5,000 years, so a million is just out of our reach. Maybe for now, maybe in a few thousand years we'll develop technology to look back that far, but in our lifetime it will never happen. So unless we discover immortality and humans start living forever, then we aren't going to see anything. We won't ever go to space. We won't go beyond Pluto. We won't meet aliens. We won't answer the big questions of the universe. To all the disappointed theorists, like Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory, your questions will never be answered. Because I'm confident it took 50 years for, Voyager 1 to reach Pluto and the outer limits of the solar system. So what makes you believe you've, ever going to find the secrets of the universe? You'll never get out of the sun's range. Because even if you hopped on a spaceship, not a satellite, a spaceship right now, and you set course for Pluto, well, you wouldn't make it. By the time you get there, you'd be old and withered. Even if the youngest scientist at 20, I know there's younger, but younger scientists of their early years, not the tenured, intelligent, decades of experience scientists, got on a rocket ship, they'd still be in their 70s by the time they got there. They'd never make it back. With modern technology, you never make it to Pluto and back in a lifetime. You might make it back if you were born on the rocket as you were going off. If you were born on Earth and slapped into a rocket 1 year later, you might make it back just before you die, but that'll be a life lived. And was it really a life lived? It's more like a life spent on an infinite journey. A journey that has an answer that won't ever be reached in the Jura's lifetime, the adventurer's lifetime. It's a scary thought. One that I can't quite fathom. Even though I'm a deeply philosophical man, I can't fathom the idea of there are things that we will never do. Or, well, I can fathom that. It's more that I can't fathom the fact that we will do such innate things. Humans will spend their entire lives searching for something that doesn't exist. People spend their entire lives searching for the best sandwich. Heck, I would, but is it a life wasted? Is it a life well spent? Or is that just up to the subjective opinion of the life lived, of the person who lived the life? You could spend your entire life playing sports. A nerd wouldn't enjoy that. You could spend your entire life playing chess. A jock wouldn't enjoy that. So it's more subjective up to who lived. So does this mean that every life is good? Just depends who it comes from. Perspective is the key component to a happy life. Are we truly living unless we've seen it through everyone's perspective? Probably not. But just as we live, we die at a bus length of 582. Spiraling around the streets of Paris, wrapping around and around the infinite cord of time. Snapping a screenshot for Snaky Bus is the video that I want to upload. Slightly angling the camera and screenshot. And we end the fly cam and we go back to the main menu. For Snaky Bus has been my video, my Snaky Bus philosophy. Philosophy is an interesting subject, although it may be a useless degree, and I know some people won't like me saying that, especially the philosophers. It is fun, and I hope one day that philosophy me will return in the future. If I'm ever big or successful, then maybe one day he'll return in all his glory, and the people will cheer that philosophy me has returned once more.